Konnichiwa, Alec here, and this is my YouTube channel, Gaijin no Yume, where I will be going step by step through my AJATT experience. Let's get it. So now, for those of you who don't know what AJATT is, it stands for All Japanese All the Time. You can go ahead and Google it, but essentially, you are constantly reading native Japanese material, whether that's through Japanese subtitles of media, whether it's manga or books or forums or YouTube posts or whatever it may be, but it just has to be native Japanese material. And every time you come across a word that you don't know, you make a flashcard of it. You use some SRS system like Anki, and on the front of the card you have the Japanese sentence, and on the back of the card you have the word you don't know with that word's definition. But the back of the card is also in Japanese. So you use monolingual translation cards from Japanese to Japanese so that you are 100% always doing Japanese. So the reason why I'm making these videos is for many reasons. The first one is that when you're doing something like learning a language, there's lots of times where you feel defeated and like you're not really progressing. I wanted to do weekly videos of my AJATT progress that showed my stats, how many cards are in my deck, etc. So that if I ever hit a week or a day where I'm like, man, I'm not learning anything, I can always go back to the videos, go back to my stats and say, wow, you know, I added X amount of cards or I did X amount of work. And it's going to be sort of a way for me to mentally stay on track, but also if I fall off track, to keep me back on, just so that I have tangible numbers. But the main reason why I wanted to make these videos is I've actually studied Japanese for about 8 years on and off. I'm gonna have separate videos for all of these things, just so that I can hopefully help some of you people out that have experienced the same thing as me. But I actually have studied for 8 years, like I said, on and off. I've taken classes in college, I've taken Skype lessons, I've took Japanese school in DC, and all of them revolved around using a textbook. And in the last 8 years, essentially, I've finished all main Japanese textbooks. And a long time ago, when the JLPT was just 1 through 4, I actually passed the JLPT 3. So here I am 8 years later, not fluent in Japanese. I can pass a test, I can, you know, go through the textbook, I can conjugate, but I can't speak fluent, I can't hear fluently, and I can't read fluently. And this is spending thousands and thousands of hours from a textbook. And hopefully what I can do is, if you are hitting the same rut as I did in your study of Japanese, that I can give you some things that helped me, you know, make the transition to AJATT, to give comparisons as to why I prefer using AJATT as opposed to textbooks, and hopefully just give you some insight as to somebody who's been on both sides of the fence. Because I know that before I started AJATT, I was just about ready to give up hope on studying Japanese. I was like, this isn't working, I've wasted so much time of my life, and I'm not where I want to be. So, you know, me going to AJATT was kind of like my last straw of either it works and I'm going to get fluent, or it doesn't work. So, like I said, this is going to be my journey. You know, if you want to comment, ask questions, I'll be free to answer them. You know, hopefully we can do this together. But one thing I want to make sure that everyone understands is that I am in no way fluent in Japanese. So any video that I have is not meant to instruct. It's not meant to tell you this is how you do it. It is simply my experiences with studying Japanese. And I want to make specific videos like pitch accent and stuff where I actually do go through what pitch accent means and how to do it. But that's not because I'm going to teach you. That's because I had it taught to me after I spent 8 years of my life doing no pitch accent. And I'm just sitting there like, this is a textbook I'm supposed to use. Why haven't I learned this? And it's just a big debacle. So like I said, hopefully this will just help some of you out there that, you know, were thinking of quitting Japanese or starting Japanese, or are just not getting what you want out of those textbooks. So comment, like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. You can follow me on Instagram, it's all good. But let's get it together. Road to fluency, baby.